go. Okay, so this is a tutorial for anyone who wants to learn how to randomize Star Wars Dark Forces. So, first, this is probably going to be default. You need to have the original Dark Forces installed on Steam. Because I think this is where it's going to save the randomizer. Alright, so what we want to do, I'm going to go here to where it says mod. See how there's nothing here? What you want to do is you want to click add mod file. Then you want to go to Steam Apps, Dark Forces, and Game. Right? Then you want to grab dark.gob and just add that and then click apply. Now, I'm going to go to the randomizer and click run. So these are presets. I'm pretty sure these are just like, I guess, like vanilla randomization stuff, like pretty easy stuff to figure out, but let's go through these stuff. So the music, like it literally just randomizes music. That's about as simple as it gets. So this one I'm not entirely sure, but if you want to randomize one level, you just click this. See? If you want to randomize all the levels, do that. If you want to randomize the level order, just do that. This way you can get any level first. We're going to get into this in a little bit. Wait. Override map draw mode. Hello? Interesting. Okay, so this is still a new feature. So I think we'll be testing that out later today. I'm not 100% sure with this, so I will post an update in the video description after I've messed around with this. So for now, we're going to move on. This I don't mess around with too much because the lighting already gives me enough problems with this game when I don't have the goggles, so we're just going to skip that. Wait. Okay, this is an entirely new tab. Okay. That's why I was getting confused, because I usually see this one. Okay, so here's where we get to the fun stuff. So right down here, you can see all these guys. You don't do anything with this list. This is just the enemies that go into the randomizer. However, you want to make sure every single enemy is in the randomizer, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So down here you can, like, this is like for enemies with like multiple logics, I guess. So like stormtroopers that regenerate and stuff. Not 100% certain on that. This might actually be for custom levels, so that if you're playing a custom level that uses, say, a stormtrooper with Bosk logic and Boba Fett logic at the same time, that it can randomize that motherfucker anywhere. Like, I'm not 100% certain. Enemy spawn template. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you really want to play the game proper randomized, you want to hit all levels for this. Because this will take every enemy from every level in the game and randomize it into the spawn pool per level. Meaning, any enemy can appear anywhere at any time under any circumstance. These are basically... Okay, so this is like enemy spawn settings. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Anyway, so these are the spawn settings, right? Existing means like all of the vanilla spawns get randomized, and then it looks for random spots to put them when it runs out of vanilla spots. I go with only random because this means anything can spawn anywhere, no matter how ridiculous. I don't mess with this too much because I still don't fully understand this. Always randomize enemy direction. This means they'll just spawn facing whatever direction that the randomizer chooses. Limit, I'm just going to call them sewer bugs. Limit sewer bugs to spawning in water. I turn that off, and I'll tell you why. Because having these things pop up anywhere is fucking horrifying, and it's a great thing. Limit water sectors to sewer bugs and flying enemies. Turn that shit off. Because it's way more fun when you find just a Phase 1 Dark Trooper sitting in Anode City. Okay. Here is the difficulty modifiers. So, like it says here, setting value to 0 will ensure no enemies spawn on that difficulty value. So if I set this to 0, and I set this to 0, and I set that to 0, like if I set this all to 0, nothing will spawn the entire game, no matter what we do. So I'd recommend not putting 0 on that. For these weighting charts, I recommend using if you want to randomize these, there's no option to randomize all of them, like within the tool. So what I do is I open up Picker Wheel, and I go from numbers 0 to 4. I don't do 5 because I tried 5 once, and on easy, the game was almost unbeatable because I was getting railroaded by Dark Troopers every 30 seconds. Like, it was not beatable. So so basically, same logic applies here. Also, do not use this. Okay? This absolute column, trying to randomize a file with this will break it. Like, it won't break the file. It'll just break the randomizer, in which it will say, like, it'll give you an error message and it won't randomize the game. So just don't use this little checklist over here. So if you want to turn off regenerating enemies, you just do this. See? Now you have no regenerative enemies. Randomizing bosses. Do not fuck with these. Basically, this can soft lock you if you randomize bosses. I learned this the hard way while playing through the Archammer. Just don't do it. Take my word, do not randomize bosses. I know it's tempting, but, I mean, you have all of the bosses right here. You can literally randomize them anyway. You just keep the end of the level the same. So, the generators, this is like... these are like the regenerating enemies. Personally, not something I like to use because the randomizer can crash. Now, keep in mind, if it crashes, it will not always crash in that spot. Sometimes it just crashes because the game overloads. There's too many sprites in the level just moving at once, and you have to basically kill them off or just run through the level as quickly as possible. This can be a bit of a downer, but you typically the only two levels I've had this happen on are Detention Center 1 time and Fuel Station about 3 times. Fuel Station is probably the worst for the randomizer. This randomizer will work with custom missions as well. I've tried it. Imperial Academy, very fun when randomized. Might actually try doing that later. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so keys and codes. Basically, basically you can ignore these. I do because I feel like unlocking oh, excuse me, unlocking all the doors and just placing the keys in the open kind of takes the fun out and a bit of the challenge out of the game. Okay, so this one is pretty much the exact same as enemies. So basically, you want to, if you want like the Dark Trooper weapon on Secret Base, all you have to do is just do all levels. I do only random, and then you set the weighting and all that stuff, and then that do not use this unless you're like actually trying to do low. This is essentially what the Iron Skull is to Halo. Okay, so like if you die, right? Like if you die, you start at the beginning of the level. It's literally the Iron Skull. Do I think that could be fun? Yeah. Do I think I'm going to try it eventually? Yes. Am I going to do it anytime soon? No. Loadouts. Okay, so this is easy. So I use this when I do level rando, because if you start on the executor, you cannot get out of that room without an explosive. So what I'll do is I'll go here, right? Then I'll just scroll down to a single detonator, which is a thermal detonator, and just change that count to 1. And I'll do the same thing right here. So it'll give me 1 thermal detonator to start of every level, no matter what difficulty I'm on. That way I don't get soft locked. These I don't mess with because honestly, the Remaster doesn't really like playing nice with this stuff. In terms of custom enemy logics, at least not yet. Who knows? Maybe the patch NightDive does will actually, fix some of the custom logic stuff going on, but who knows? Then we go to the generation. Now, you can use a fixed seed if you want, or okay, so basically it's like Minecraft, right? Oh, you can type in the seed, so if I want a custom seed, I just go like that, done, right? Or I could just turn that off and it gives me a random seed. So save settings. Okay, so this is new. But yeah, basically you do this. Then when you generate the seed, right, you click here and it will generate it. It will generate the seed in your Dark Forces directory. Then what you want to do is you want to cut the randomizer you just made from your Dark Forces directory and move it to your Dark Forces Remaster directory, to which we are going to do this. So, properties. So, if I want to play the stream rando I just did last night, we do this. Done. See? So you go to properties and you go to launch options and you type this in right here. Then you exit out. You load into the game. That easy. Now, getting the weighting and all that stuff done, that takes a while, but in my opinion, very worth it. Okay. Well, I think that's everything, so I will see you guys when I do the